Well, hello YouTube, and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin, and I'm your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for this video. Little change there, but I am a demonstrator. So this is December's Paper Pumpkin Alternative Video number 3. The kit is called Good Things Come in Small Packages. It is for the 2022. I didn't write that. December, let's see, 2022. So this is an alternative. It is a bifold card. I've got the front part of it done, and then it repeats on, you'll see it in a second, it repeats for the second fold. So it is, this is my little template. You know how I love my templates. So from here to here is 10 and 7/16. This way it is 7. Excuse me, and it is scored at 3 and 7/16 and 7 1/4, and this is what I mean by it's a bifold. Now, the reason why it is the size is because I have these envelopes, and it's going to fit beautifully inside this envelope. So let me show you what you are going to need. Also, we are using the Lovely You stamp set because I needed the stamp set that came with the kit. It's Good Things Come in Small Packages. Let's see. You did it. Cheers for you for your special delivery. Special delivery. Oh, baby, with love. Happy birthday. Congrats for you. Graduation. You did it. We are using happy and birthday, and the inside, probably not going to have anything on the inside. So I needed some floral images to go with the pieces that I used. And I used one of these. They are 3 inches by 7. So what I did is I cut it directly down the middle at 1.5 inches. And then we snipped a bit off the end. You're going to see that too in a minute, because this is the strip we're using, the other half. You can see the start of the card. I've got it pretty much laid out for the front of the card. I'm using Calypso Coral and Basic Gray, some old Stampin' Up! Organdy white ribbon, and some of that gray Baker's twine that came in the kit. Those measure, let's see here, I can measure it in front of you guys on my grid here. About 9 1/4 for both of those. I'm using a Sharpie. Paper snips. This bit here, you can see how I did the one. This bit here, we're going to cut that off. I'm going to show you how I did it. I have a strip of Calypso Coral that we're going to do some stamping on, which is 6.5 by 2 1/8, and I have 3 pieces of Basic Gray that are 3 and I think it's, let me double check here. What did I write down? Yeah, 3 1/8 by 6.5. So you'll need 3 of those, 2 of the, yeah, that's it. I wrote down, no, it says Basic Gray. Okay, that's getting, oh, well, you will need more Basic Gray. So this is 2 by 2 1/4. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time. I've got a massive headache. 2 1/8 by 6.5, and you will need 2 of those. You will also need 2 strips that are 1 7/16 by 6, and this is a little long. We're going to have to cut. This is supposed to be 3/16. Why is it not? Let me double check here. Maybe I wrote down the wrong measurement and cut wrong. Oh, 6 1/4. I did just write it down. So 1 7/16 by 6 1/4, and you will need 2 strips of those. So let's get started you can see how this is going to open up here. This is going to repeat on this side and then open up for your sentiment. So, but we're going to do some stamping on it. This, I just wanted to have one of them done so you can see how I do it and what it's going to look like. So what we are using from the Lovely You is this little flower and this little stem, because it's the closest I could get to mimicking what was inside of that. So to start out with, we are going to stamp on the Calypso Coral. Both, oh, yeah, we're going to do both pieces, but first we got to cut this up. Okay. I was like, where's my other piece of Calypso Coral? Well, I haven't colored it yet. That's why I don't have it yet. So hopefully this is in camera, as I can't see my camera angle. So I just took this in and I'm going to cut off all those little snippy bits, and I'm going to scoot it over a little bit more, trim it, and I'm going to turn it this way and give it a little haircut on the other side to make it needs a little bit more. And I thought it was 1.5. I just wasn't. I don't want to cut too much off. That looks good. The other paper can be 1.5 because it's going to be behind it. So I'm going to show you how I get this to be Calypso Coral. Real easy, in fact. You can see my coloring. I started off with Delight Calypso Coral. And I did this on my last video. I showed you how I colored that little lattice looking piece. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm just giving it what you could call a base coat before I get the darker color on there. And I'm going to color these little triangle bits. Now I'm going to turn it and I'm going to color the inside. And it's not rocket science. It's not hard. You're just taking that big end of your blend and coloring that over. So that's the light. And now I'm going to come in with the dark Calypso Coral. I wish I could see if I'm in camera. I got to stand up and check because it's bothering me. So, yes. All right, so I'm going to take this steady pressure up and down, just covering that over. I'm going to turn it around now, and I'm going to repeat the same process. Missed a bit there. Now I'm going to come in and get those little triangle pieces that point inward. And this would have been something that most people throw away. I love doing projects like this with things that you may not think to use. So now I'm scribbling on the inside of this ladder, basically. And then we're going to do some stamping because the craft white ink we're going to be using, you know, I tend to get it on things if it doesn't give it time to dry. That needs a little bit more there. There we go. So that's it. It's that simple. And next we're going to turn it over. I'm going to set this aside. Bring in, oops, I just realized when I set it on the gray, you can really see where I missed that. So let's fix it. Couldn't really see it that well on the white, but on the basic gray it shows up. So now, like I said, we're going to stamp with this image in craft white. And we don't need to do the center. We just need to go on and about the outside. So I almost did it wrong. So we're going to do this. And I'm going to go like, let's see, here. Just turn it. Get that bit of the stem going. Want it go in all directions. Nope, that's the same way. So let's see. Bit like that. Walk your pad stamp around your pad to pick up the ink. Let's turn it. Yikes. My arm, y'all, is very, very sore from my scar from surgery. November, it is just killing me lately. Not having a good time. I go see the doctor on Friday, January 6th. I know there's not much they can do about it. It just feels like my skin is being torn apart because of how tight they had to pull my skin together, and it is very, very painful. Not not happy with it. So there, isn't that beautiful looking? So I think so anyway. So now we're gonna do some on this little ladder piece. So I just came in like so, just going straight down, and we do need to set these aside and give them time to dry. We're not doing the center part of this ladder piece. We are just, or film strip, it looks like, you know, an old 38 millimeter film. We're just doing the outside bits. All right, so that's all there is to that. Like I said, I'm going to take these two pieces now. I'm going to set them well away from me, and we are going to, let me get some hand sanitizer. I've got that craft ink on me, and I don't want it to transfer to my basic gray, as I spilt some on everything else. That's okay. It's alcohol based. It dries really fast. So we need my grandson's homework. Lovely, huh? Okay, it worked for what we were doing, right? I'm going to grab another sheet of that. If I have one that is maybe white base. His handwriting sheet. This will work to stamp on. It was in my recycle bin. So we are going to now stamp on our card base. If I can figure out what happened to, oh, sorry, here it is. So we just did these two pieces. The basic gray is not getting anything stamped on it, but we are stamping on this in basic gray. So we're not using our sentiment sayings. We're using that little flower image. And I'm going to open this up. Let's see how I can get it there. So I'm going to go all the way around this, and then I'm going to fold it in half again. So I'm going to stamp here. It's a really juicy ink pad. This might need to dry itself here. Might have to take cloth and soak up some of this ink on my ink pad. I just over inked it. So I'm gonna give it a wave. Yeah, that's a little murky. So let me see about how am I gonna fix my ink pad? Well, I'm gonna take a paper towel, because I over inked it so horribly, but it's still gonna work. I am just gonna press it in here and lift up some of that excess ink. Gonna fold it in this way and do it again. These new ink pads, I'm still learning how to ink them up. So let's try. Much better. Much better. So now that we have that part done, we're going to come along and do the side. So here, still really juicy, but it will get better as I use it. So now that that's done, we're going to open her up and repeat said process on the other part of our fold. Gonna fold her up, turn her around and do the same thing. Yep, now she's done. Now I just got to get this put away for the moment. In fact, if y'all don't mind, which you can't tell me if you do or you don't, I'm gonna take up some more of that ink if I can find my roll of paper towels again. Here's some. I really want to remove a lot of that before I stamp my sentiment. They're not like the old cloth pads as far as you almost couldn't over ink those. I mean, you could, but they were so much easier. Yeah, you can see just how much I over inked that. So let's give it a 10 times better. All right, but we're still going to close her up for the moment because we're going to start doing some work on our card. A little hand sanitizer on my hands, clean up some of that basic gray. So let's bring in our Calypso Coral ladder we made, and we're going to glue it now to that half strip. It is 1 inch by, what is it, 7? Yeah, strip that we cut in half. So half is for the front, half is for the inside. We're just adding some liquid glue here. Make sure you get it on the end part of the ladder, the rungs, I guess they call them. And we're going to glue this down. Now what I did do is, you see there are lines here. They don't really bother me, but I did line it up with the top one. And then this one here, this little mark indentation, lined up with the next rung. Well, that will work. I'm going to leave it right where it is, just in case there's white ink. And we're going to snip off the ends. And you really cannot even tell it has those score markings. So that is how I simply did that, and it is simple. So next we're going to stamp on this. We're going to stamp the For You. Oh, no, sorry. We're going to do Happy Birthday. Where's Happy? Happy must be in my box. Yes. I already had it mounted. So we're going to start with birthday. Where is my little front paneled piece? I've lost everything I had. My gray pieces are here. This piece is here, but the top to the card is now missing. Yikes. It was under stuff. Okay, so our card. See how we're going to repeat that, but we're going to do Happy Birthday. So I want to make sure this one is going this way. This one is going to go this way. See how they're just opposite of it? That's what I wanted to make sure. And we are going to do Happy and Birthday. So we are going to do birthday in the lower corners of all the little openings. And I have basic gray on my hand. And I touched my card and I cannot redo this. So here we go. Now we're going to work with Happy right above it. There you go. So it says happy, 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 happy birthday. We're going to close up that ink pad because we are all done with the stamping. Next, we are going to adhere it not directly on there. That's what that little strip of basic gray is for, is to give it a little bit of a border. So we're going to get some glue on here. The top piece I put dimensionals on because I wanted that dimension, but on the inside of the card I don't want that. I want it to lay nice and flat for the inside of my card. Just because of the ink, I don't want ink anywhere. So there we go. And next, we're going to glue this directly onto the Calypso Coral piece that we stamped in with the Craft White ink pad. And this is just getting in the center of it. A little bit of glue off. I really think it's pretty. You can see I got a little bit of ink there, but that's gonna be okay. So next is one of our 3 panel pieces, and this is gonna line up like so. This one is on the left. This one will be lined up with the right, because this is the inside of our card. And it will just give you about 1/4 of an inch. This little. Okay. So I'm showing you, this is exactly how I did the left piece. Now we're going to work on, oh, that needs to scooch over just a wee bit. How we did the ribbon. Well, I took some large glue dots I had in my stash from Paper Pumpkin Kits. I'm going to take 2 of them, one on each end of the ribbon. Like I said, this is old organdy ribbon Stampin' Up! Used to carry. It was some of my favorite. That's why I still have so much of it. And I'm not a big ribbon person on cards, but this kind of needed something along the side. So I'm like, okay, I can do this. So I'm just folding it over like so with the glue dot. And if you're wondering, what about your handy dandy Scotch tape? Never fear, I'll be using that in a second. Just for this, I did it with the glue dot just to get it on there. So I want to make sure it's roughly even. Then I took the basic gray, baker's twine, get me some little pieces of handy dandy Scotch tape, and I'm gonna turn it over and tape those down. So now I have 2 almost identical images, just almost a mirrored image, if you will, of these. And now we're going to put them on our card. So the first one, our outer piece, we are going to simply glue down. I'm going to use tear tape just because I have that Scotch tape on it. So let's adhere it with some tear tape. Do probably about 4 or 5 pieces just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And sorry, I don't mind doing that. Where's my bone folder? I'm gonna go over them so they hopefully come off easier. And I need my handy dandy little needle. Maybe. on my little magnetic dish. Pop those up. These go in the non-recyclable bin down to my left. Alrighty. So this one, the one I did sooner, is the front. Goes on the front of our card. You know, you can choose any color combination you want. I just tried to do something a little out of my box and something I thought would complement the strip for behind the ladder from the card kit or little gift box kit for the paper pumpkin. Thanks, trying to get in. There we go. Take this one off from this end, and then I'm gonna fold that little bit over since I got a little too much. And one last one. There we go. Now the inside of our card gets the basic gray and a piece of basic white, which is 2 by 6. And we are going to glue these together. And I could do the little flower on here if I wanted to. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Do a few little flowers on the center panel. One there. And let's do 3 like that down at the bottom. And then you can write whatever it is you would like to say on the inside of this beautiful little birthday card. And definitely have to stamp those flowers on the front of the envelope to make it coordinate. But I think it's a spiffy little card. My bifold card. Now we have these little, I'll show you where yes, these classic matte dots. And all I did, because I was all out of the basic gray ones, so all I did was I took a Sharpie and I went around the little dots. I'm not going to use any on the inside of the card because it would be just too bulky. But we are going to stamp, because you can already see with all that cardstock I've got on there, it's got a little bulk there. But let's stamp that flower. I guess I shouldn't have put it up. Let's stamp some on the front of our card. So we're going to put one here. And I know people say don't do it in the left corner, but I just think it's going to look pretty there. Even when they do the barcode for the post office on it, it's still going to be just fine. So that is video number 3, my bifold card. I'm thinking maybe if I hadn't had such a juicy pad, it wouldn't have bled through. Can't do it again because I don't have the product to do it. But you get a peek at my card for you. Happy, 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 happy birthday. And I still like it, and it's different, and that's what I was going for. I hope you think so too, and I'm hoping you are ready for the celebration. I hope you come and join me on my adventure for building one of these, our basic albums for stamping up. If you order the book, the pages, and the alphabet dies with me, you will get a 6-month supply to make the projects I will be making this year. I will be doing one a month starting in February, as January I have to get supplies and so forth. I'll be using a mixed combination of paper pumpkin products, some new stamp sets, and dies and all the fun stuff. But I hope you come and join me. If you do order those through me this month of January, I have freebies to give you. I have a whole box chocked full of stuff and more things that are not even, that I would love to give those people who would like to order at least $25 or more from me, especially during celebration. You get 2 freebies. I have all these paper products to give away. So let me know. You can find me on the Stamping Up website, Alice Seraphin. And I hope you come back and visit me in my Wonderland. Bye-bye now.